Bitcoin is going absolutely parabolic. It's making some of the biggest moves in crypto history right now. But are you ready to take advantage of this bull run? In today's video, I'm going to show you my strategy for taking profits out in this bull run and how to capitalize and make sure that I'm successful in this bull run. So hit that like button and let's jump into it. All right, so we're at 3.1 trillion market cap, total market cap for crypto. I think 3.2 trillion is what we reached in the peak of the last bull run. So we are almost to the last bull run's peak already, and it's only November after the halving. This is absolutely crazy. Bitcoin, as of this recording, has hit 89,000. Now, it could have punched through that 90,000 level by the time this video comes out. So overall, we have a lot of alts pumping. Dogecoin is up 117%. A lot of these big caps are up 30%, 20%, 40%, 200% on Kronos. So some of the exchange coins are moving pretty hard here. Some big moves in this market right now. Just this absolutely green market over the last week here. So if we take a look at Bitcoin, we did smash through 89,000 and we reached around 89,800, almost to 90,000 mark here. The next move up, if we punch through this, would be the 98,000 mark. I'm expecting a bit of a cool off as of right now. Maybe we come back down and test like the 82,000 level here and maybe make this our support area, but I don't know for sure because with Bitcoin going absolutely crazy like this, it's difficult to say. It could punch right through this and just keep on going, or we could get a hard correction here. Difficult to say, but either way, we are so far above this channel now that we can officially say that we are in the bull run. If we take a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns chart here, we can see November we're currently at a positive 24%. So I'm expecting a green December as well. In the past years where we've had a green October and a green November, we followed it up with a green December as well. So hopefully we'll see some pretty big moves here coming up in December. It's possible we see Bitcoin break that $100,000 mark before the end of the year, and that would smash the 5.3 theory out of the window here. So I think that, you know, with Donald Trump becoming into office and being so bullish on crypto, that the 5.3 theory that some of the other crypto YouTubers out there have had is going to be completely blown out of the water this bull run, just because of that reason alone and because of institutional investors now in the space. So if you take a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart here, you can see we're in the yellow zone now. And if we punch into this orange zone like I'm expecting us to this bull run here, that's going to put Bitcoin somewhere in the like $120,000 to $140,000 range in early 2025. Towards the end of 2025, if we keep going up towards the end of 2025, that is going to put us potentially in the $140,000 to $190,000 range for Bitcoin if we get up into the orange zone towards the end of 2025. So somewhere in that $120,000 to $150,000 range is what I'm kind of expecting for Bitcoin this bull run. But obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't guarantee you that's going to happen. But I think that $120,000 is reasonable for Bitcoin. Some people think we will punch all the way up to $250,000. I would say that's not very likely. That is a huge move from here. So I would kind of bet on the $120,000 range, and if we get anything above that, I think that's just a bonus. But that's just my personal opinion, and obviously nobody knows how far we're going to go. But with Donald Trump being elected and Congress possibly making a strategic Bitcoin reserve where over the next 5 years the US government will be purchasing 1 million Bitcoin, that could potentially just keep us up in the higher price ranges this bull run here. Obviously, I still think we're going to get a big correction after this bull run into 2026. Just because we keep going up like this doesn't mean we're going to continue going up forever. I would expect a big crash after this bull run, just like every other cycle, and then we probably pick up from there and keep going on with Bitcoin. What's crazy is if you take a look at the crypto fear and greed index here, we are just in greed. We are not in extreme greed yet, so we haven't even touched the extreme greed, even with Bitcoin getting all the way up to like almost $90,000. So this is a really good indicator that we still have room to go with this bull run here and with this move on Bitcoin potentially. Now, I do expect a pullback, maybe down to 80,000, but I would think that we're probably going to hold that and keep moving up from here towards the end of November and into December, and potentially maybe get to 100K by the end of the year. So the biggest mistake a lot of people are going to make out there is that your coin may not be pumping while other coins are pumping, and that's why I recommend a diversified portfolio so you have multiple coins. So if some aren't doing well. Others are usually doing well, where it's not, you know, making you worry too much about this one coin that's not moving too well, and make you FOMO into these coins that are pumping. They can be very dangerous, so be careful of that. But I'm going to go over my profit taking strategy here with you guys and show you my spreadsheets and how I plan to take profits out in this bull run to make sure that I'm successful. So the path to alt season success here, basically phase one is Bitcoin, which is the phase that we are in right now. Bitcoin is making its move up. All of the money is flowing into Bitcoin mostly. And then once Bitcoin has really taken off, you know, pretty close to not much higher than where we're at now, I think we'll get a cool off. And then some of that money is starting to flow into Ethereum. I think more of that money is going to flow into Ethereum. And then Ethereum and Solana are going to start pumping harder than what they are now. And I would expect them to do significantly better than where they're at now. And then some of that money will probably flow into phase three, into the other large caps like Avalanche and Chainlink and some of the other ones, probably ICP, SUI, some of the other big ones. Those funds are going to start flowing into these large caps, and you're going to see the top 100. Many of these projects get into, you know, the tens of billions in market cap throughout this bull run here. And once that is done, you're going to see the true alt season, where a lot of this funds move into the micro caps and the small caps, medium caps, and you're going to see some of those micro caps do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x in this bull run potentially. Now, that's what's happened in the past. It's not guaranteed to happen, of course, but I think history will repeat itself, and we'll see some of that in this bull run. It's just a matter of which coins are going to do that. So what are we going to do, how are we going to handle this? Well, first of all, you guys should have a diversified portfolio. You want to have like some bigger caps in your portfolio potentially to, you know, be a hedge against, you know, some of the high risk that can be in some of these smaller coins. It really depends on your risk tolerance. If you're willing to lose the money that you're invested in into crypto, which, you know, obviously none of these coins are guaranteed to do anything. Any of them could really go to zero at any point, but typically some of the larger caps are safer, and they're going to not correct as hard as some of these medium, small, and micro caps. But you definitely want to have a diversified portfolio. I have several coins in my portfolio. I don't know the exact number. I would guess it's somewhere between 25 and 40 different coins, because I invested in a lot of projects early on and invested in private rounds and stuff like that. A lot of those projects haven't even launched yet, so we still have those to wait for. But in my portfolio that I have right now, I think I have around 20 coins currently in my portfolio, besides some of those other projects that I invested in early on that haven't even launched yet. So you definitely want to be diversified, but you don't want to be too diversified where you can't keep track of your coins. I know that's some of the problem that some people have out there, is they are not keeping track of how much they're putting into these coins and when they should be capitalizing on gains with these. So I'm going to help you with that here in this video, show you my strategy on how I plan on taking out profits on some of these coins. These are just examples. These are not my true numbers that I'm going to be using, because I may have to adjust these, but these are just an example to give you guys an idea of what maybe you want to look at doing. So we'll jump into that here. So I have a spreadsheet that I've created here, and if you're in my Discord, you know, I give my Discord members this spreadsheet if they want a copy of it. People are in Telegram as well. They hit me up in Telegram and send me a DM. I can get you a copy of the spreadsheet as well. I don't want you to use my price targets on here, because I could be wrong on these price targets. Basically, I want to make sure that I'm, you know, safer with some of these coins, and some of these price targets may be way off, but you want to get some kind of price target in here. So in the first column here, I have the coin's name, of course, the ticker symbol for it, and just a list of coins. And I don't have all these in my portfolio. These are just examples. And then in the second column, I have a calculated amount where I could put in like 1 BTC. And then I put in my minimum bull run price, which we're almost to now. And then my maximum bull run price is $150,000 for Bitcoin. And then I want to take my profits out, probably somewhere, some profits out, not all of them, of course, maybe 10, 20% or something, before they reach this minimum bull run price, because they're not guaranteed to reach that. And then I would start taking out in increments all the way up to potentially the maximum bull run price that I think these coins could get into. So like Solana, if you had 50 Solana, for example, I could punch that in here. Minimum target for Solana is $200. We've already hit that. And then the maximum target I have on here is $600 for just an example. And then so, you know, that would potentially be between $10,000 and $30,000 for profits if you had 50 Solana. Same with these other coins in here. You can do this for all of your coins. You know, have it set to calculate the minimum price and the maximum price and what your value could be in this bull run. I have another tab on my spreadsheet here for the prices that I actually want to take out, percentages, and sell them of my coins. Now this is flexible, of course. You don't want to just stick to this necessarily, because you know you need to adjust this based off of how far we are in the cycle potentially here. But typically, you know, if you were to have Bitcoin here, and there was I have in here, for example, of taking profits around 60,000. This is just an example, so you guys can see that for the video. So if I had 5 Bitcoin, for example, I could put 5 in here, and then it would tell you your profit realized if you sold 10% at $60,000, and if you sold 20% of this 5 Bitcoin at $65,000, that would be $65,000 taken out, and so on. These are just examples. Obviously, my first price target for Bitcoin would be $84,000, so you could change this to $84,000, and then the next price target could be $89,000, and so on. And you can adjust this third one to $94,000. These are just examples. $98,000, for example, for the fourth one, and then like $104,000 for Bitcoin for the fifth one, and so on. So you can adjust these however you need to, and you see it'll automatically show the profit realized at these price targets, so, and the percentage that you're taking them out at. So let's scroll down here and let's go to a coin that we can give you a good example for. Let's see here, if we have like Miria, for example. If you had 1 million Miria coins, for example, if I sold 10% of those at 3 cents, that would give me about $3,000, and that would be selling 100,000 Miria, 10% of the million here. And then if I sold 20% of this million Miria, that would be 200,000 Miria at 6 cents. That would give me $12,000, and so on. And I just keep entering in price targets all the way up to, let's say, 34 cents for Miria, and that would give me a profit of $159,000 potentially if I was to follow this to a T. Now, based off of how Miria is doing as we get into this bull run, I may adjust this, but this is my price targets for now, kind of just as an example for this video for you guys, so you guys can see how this spreadsheet works. But put all of your coins in a spreadsheet and start thinking about what price targets you want to sell at, because I can tell you what's going to happen in this bull run here is people are going to get euphoria. It's called euphoria, and it's called FOMO. People have a fear of missing out. They have a fear of missing out on higher prices, and some of you are going to see certain coins pumping and your coin may not be pumping, and you're going to want to jump into the coin that's pumping, which is a big mistake because it's already pumped and you're excited about the one that's pumping right now and yours aren't pumping. But my recommendation for you for that is just wait your turn. Most coins, if not almost all of them, are going to pump at some point in this bull run. It just depends on when, because they're not going to all pump at the same time. There's going to be different narratives that are hot during certain weeks and certain months, and then other narratives will start to pop off. So you got to be careful about jumping around with your coins, but have a strategy in mind on when you want to take profits. Make sure you're diversified, so if 1 or 2 coins in your portfolio are not doing very well, maybe you have 3 other ones that are doing okay and one that's doing really hot, so you're not so focused on those 1 or 2 that aren't doing anything and scare you out of those coins and make you want to FOMO into coins that are already pumping. So just be careful of that. So make sure that you're strategic about your profits for this bull run. Make sure that you're not being too greedy and that you want to get your profits out early, especially your initial investment. That way you're just riding on all profit at that point. But don't wait for crazy price points. Don't wait for Miria to hit 50 cents before you're taking profits out on it. Don't wait for Solana to hit like $1,000 before you're taking profits out on it. Don't be crazy. Make sure you're taking profits out. If you're in significant profit, maybe take out and sell 10 or 20% of those coins. If you're up some of these smaller cap coins, if you're up 5 or 10x on those, maybe you sell 10 or 20% of that to get your initial investment and maybe a little bit more out, and then wait for it to pump a little bit more and take out another 10%, 5%, whatever it is. Just have some kind of price point and goals in mind. But that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. I think Bitcoin's probably going to potentially maybe hit 84 to 85,000 before we get a bit of a cool off. I could be completely wrong on those numbers. It's just my gut feeling. Maybe we cool off from where we're at right now, or maybe we pump up to 90 or 90 some thousand before we cool off. But my gut tells me somewhere around the 84,000, 85,000 point is where we'll get a pullback on Bitcoin for a little bit, and then we get a bit of an alt season, and then maybe we continue on more higher later on. But I can definitely see Bitcoin getting over $100,000. We're not far from that at all. Really, what are we, 20 some percent away from that right now? Maybe 25%, somewhere in that range. So not too far away. It doesn't take a whole lot for Bitcoin to pump, especially with all the conditions that are in place right now. And we have potentially more rate cuts coming, potentially, depending on what the Fed decides to do with the new Trump administration and all that. But, you know, make sure you're ready, guys, for this bull run. I know everybody wants to buy a Lamborghini and have a mansion and go to all these crazy parties and stuff, potentially. Some people just want to get enough money to pay off their car. Some people want to get enough money to pay off student loans, pay off a house. Whatever it is, guys, don't be greedy out there and don't wait for crazy numbers. But none of this is really financial advice because I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell you what these markets are going to do. I can just tell you how I'm planning for them personally, but make a decision for yourself on how you want to handle it. But I really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you want to join my Telegram, it's absolutely free. The link is in the description below. And also, you can join my Discord. That is through Patreon. I think it's only $14.99 a month to join that. The link is in the description below. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.